What's up, guys? This is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Nimbasa City League Season 1 draft breakdown, draft analysis, whatever you'd like to call it. Um, yeah, so I joined a new league. Well, I created a new league in the absence of a few that are going to be ending for me and a few of my very close friends. I thought that I could start one and see how well it goes. So yeah, this is happening. So yeah, there were a few things going into this. I allowed some very distinct rules, like you don't have to Mega first turn. I unbanned Mega Kangaskhan as long as it's not running Seismic Toss or Power Up Punch. I left a few things banned that I normally wouldn't leave banned, like Lagerna and Naganadel, I think. Yeah, the Mega rules sort of changed some Megas pretty significantly. The most significant one was Mega Sharpedo. Anything's allowed to use Z, and I think that's pretty much it. Oh, the rest of this stuff is fairly standard. There's no passing of any kind. Well, you're allowed to Dry Baton pass, but there's no stat passing of any kind allowed, so... yeah, going into this, I was 8th pick? Yeah, I was 8th pick out of 12. The randomizer was not kind to me, but yeah, so Cade initially sniped me round 1. I really wanted to grab Mega Sharpedo, and he ended up grabbing Mega Sharpedo at 4th pick, and I was kind of bummed about that, but it's okay, it's okay, and or at least that's what I thought, and then Eco grabbed Mega Lopunny, which is another one that I wanted, but Celesteela ended up making it back to me. Whoops. Celesteela ended up making it back to me. Sorry about the layout here. I know my draft analysis is usually have like a bunch of stats and abilities and stuff, but I can just talk about it and just have the GIF playing on screen. So we grabbed Celesteela. Celesteela is going to be a really fun mon to use. I've always wanted to use Celesteela, and I've never had the chance to, and honestly, the fact that it made it to me in 8th is really cool. It can Beast Boost on pretty much all of the different stats, which makes it really versatile. Steel Flying is really good typing. Obviously, it's only weak to Fire and weak to Electric, but it also starts a good Fairy Dragon Steel Core. So I was really excited to grab Celesteela. Unfortunately, I was talking to Monster, who had the pick right after me, and he wanted Celesteela, but I was like, well, okay, I'm sorry, Monster, but I need to snipe you on this, because there's no way that I'm letting Celesteela get past me this time. It's been drafted, like Jed drafted it 2nd overall, I think, in D&D. So it usually has a really high priority, but yeah, I wanted to grab Celesteela. Excuse me. Celesteela is going to be named Apollo 13 because it's kind of like a rocket, and everything on my roster is going to be shiny in this league, just because it's sort of how I'm treating the league, is that it's shiny and brand new, so that's sort of the allegory there. I think it's allegory. Yeah, so that's Celesteela. Next up, I wanted to grab another thing that I really wanted to try, and I wasn't sure if someone was going to snipe me on this later, but it helps out the water and the fairy. We grabbed a Azumarill. Azumarill is a very, well, it's not that versatile because you're pretty much going to see a few sets on it, but the fact that it hits super hard, you can just pop a band on there and like sweep teams with Aqua Jet. Belly Drum, Z Belly Drum is ridiculous as well. Even just regular Belly Drum is ridiculous. There's not too many switch-ins to the combination of water plus fairy. It can actually break through steel types with things like liquidation really well. I don't think Azu got that much better in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, but it's pretty good. Now there's a shared weakness here between Celesteela and Azumarill in Electric that I'm going to need to patch up later. But besides that, we have a fairy for a Fairy Dragon Steel and a water for Fire Water Grass started already. That's pretty much it. We also have 2 really slow mons in Celesteela with base 61 and Azu with base 50, but we're hoping to patch that up. Round 3, I really wanted to grab Goodra because it ties up my Fairy Dragon Steel really well here. It's a nice special sponge for Thunderbolts that will be coming out at Celesteela and Azu, and it's also a nice bulky, especially offensive dragon, which is kind of what I was looking for here with 2 potentially physical attackers. But Corona, with his mono dragon shenanigans, sniped me on the Goodra. It turns out there were a bunch of people going for Goodra, and I don't know if Goodra is actually that important in round 3, but apparently it was for everybody else. So I had to search through tier 2 and grab another dragon. Oh, sorry, Azumarill is going to be called Secret Agent. I don't know why, I just thought there'd be, well, it's because it's gold, so I was like, oh, Goldfinger, and then I got on a tangent. Yeah, so I had to grab another dragon in tier 2, because I needed a dragon, because all the dragons were going to go, if Corona had his choice. So we ended up grabbing Hydreigon. I'm happy with grabbing Hydreigon, honestly, because it's kind of it's a much faster speed tier than what I initially had. It's a nice, especially offensive dragon. Gives us a good dark typing. It's the start of some hazard removal, because now we have defog on Hydreigon in Gen 7. So that's really good. Again, it's the same sort of thing with Azu, where like there's not too many good switch-ins to like Hydra just dropping a Draco or just spamming Dark Pulse kind of thing. So really good wall breakers to set up for Celesteela later, or for Azu. Yeah, Hydra is going to be Hail Hydra. I don't know, it's just a Marvel thing. So round 4, I needed to grab a better Electric Sponge, because Hydra is not a very good Electric Sponge. Celesteela is a good Fairy Sponge for Hydra though, so that's really helpful. But I wanted to, Celesteela also covers Azu's poison weakness in its immunity. So I wanted to grab something that could sponge electric hits really well. I needed a hazard setter. I wasn't necessarily looking for more removal, but I definitely could use more removal, especially with how my plan wanted to go. So I ended up grabbing Donphan. I'm not sure if round 4 is too early for it, to be honest, but Donphan's a very sought after Pokemon, I think, in most drafts. It's a spinner, it's a rock setter, it's a really good physical attacker, again an electric sponge because it's immune to electric. The only downside from my team picking up Donphan is that I'm continually getting slower. Donphan and Azu I think are both base 50. Donphan's going to be Elefante because that's, I don't know. I just have weird ideas for nicknames. I'm excited to use Donphan. I've never used Donphan before. It's a really good Earthquaker. Excuse me. Gives me a little more priority. I've got Aqua Jet with Azu and Ice Shard with Donphan now. Especially with how Corona's team is looking with his Mono Dragon shenanigans, I think having Ice Shard is really useful. Yeah, so then the next round was something. Let me just double check here. Oh man. Yes. All the fires started to go in round 5, and I really wanted to grab this one because it hits really hard and it's got a really good speed tier. It was between this and Arcanine, and I have Arcanine and SAPL, so I wanted to try something different. So I ended up grabbing Darmanitan. Darmanitan is one of those Pokemon where you just don't have a good switch-in for it. It seems to be the case with most of my team right now. Flare Blitz, Sheer Force Flare Blitz is so scary for Pokemon to switch into. The fact that, like, honestly, you can run the same 4 moves and the same set on Darmanitan every week, and people still won't be able to deal with it very well. Fantastic fire type. It's a little bit slower than Hydreigon, so Hydreigon can sort of reduce the amount of bulk that people are going to have because they need to speed creep for Hydreigon instead of just speed creeping for Darmanitan potentially. Lots of stuff like that. Did I mention what? Oh yeah, I did. This was another tier 3. It sort of adds to my Fire, Water, Grass core. Obviously, we finished the Fairy Dragon Steel core. It doesn't really add much more than that. It's good momentum though. The fact that it gets U-turn is really good for my team. Excuse me. I really love Volt Turn cores because getting momentum in your favor. I've found in games where I lose momentum, I lose a lot faster. And a lot harder than games where I can bring back momentum or gain momentum myself. So that's what I was hoping Darmanitan was going to do. Darmanitan's going to be nicknamed Forceful. Again, I don't really have great explanations for most of these, except for maybe one. I actually have a couple really cute nicknames, but yeah. Round 6, let's talk about round 6. I needed a Grass type, I needed to grab an Electric type, and I needed a tier 4. And I ended up grabbing Rotom-Mow. Rotom-Mow got sniped for me in SAPL, and I really want to try it. Rotom-Mow is kind of a cool mon, especially now that it gets defog. I think it's criminally under-tiered in tier 4. I mean, obviously I was the one doing tiering, but there's been no precedent to say that Rotom-Mow should really be tier 3 yet. So I sort of went with the, I followed sheepishly with that one. But it's a nice grass type. I mean, it really only gets Leaf Storm as grass coverage. unfortunately, but it still patches up the water weakness that Darmanitan has. You can slap an AV on it. Most of the time you see Rotom-Mow like Specs or Scarf with like Trick. It adds some more momentum with Volt Switch, and it gives me more hazard removal with Defog, so I can be happy with that. Pretty good value pick if I do say so myself, to be honest. It's another electric resist. Now, it is a 4 times electric resist, while Rotom-Mow may not have the best bulk in general. A 4 times electric resist is pretty good to soak up hits if I'm not bringing Donphan. Pardon me, I'm so sorry about that. I don't know why this always happens. Rotom-Mow is going to be nicknamed Summer Job because people mow lawns as a summer job. I thought it was kind of a nice nickname there. I thought it was a little bit cute. Okay, so round 7, I ended up grabbing something that I thought for sure was going to be sniped by the 2 guys who love to run screens. Obviously, Corona wasn't going to snipe this because it's not a dragon, but I thought TJ might grab it because it can run screens and he drafts it pretty much every time. So I grabbed Uxie. Uxie's a really bulky mon. I was looking for more bulk because my team, while I do have a good defensive wall in Donphan and Celesteela's good all around, I sort of needed more all around bulk. And so Uxie provides that. It's really nice. It's another rock setter to take the pain off of Donphan for that. And it's a levitator, so I have another ground immunity in Celesteela and Uxie now to go along with Rotom-Mow. So my team is, and Hydreigon actually, my team is not weak to ground by any means. Even though the type chart may say that I'm eventually weak to ground, I think that's 3 levitators. 3 levitators? Rotom-Mow, Uxie, Hydreigon. Yeah, it's 3 levitators and a flying type in Celesteela. So I can be perfectly okay with eating ground moves. Goodness gracious, pardon me. And like I said before, it can set screens. Sort of, kind of a cool strat for my team. I've seen TJ and Corona use it many, many times now, and it's a strategy that I was kind of looking to try out myself. So we'll see if that can do anything for the team. Round 8, I got hard sniped. Oh my god, I got so sniped. Is this the round? Yeah, I got sniped in round 7, round 6, something like that. I can't remember when Mortal grabbed it, but Mortal grabbed round 5. He grabbed Rabombi when he already had a second fairy, and then he was instantly like, "Oh my god, I don't need a second fairy. This was a mistake." So we initiated a trade, and I ended up grabbing Galvantula, which is the same sort of thing for him. And after the draft, we traded Galvantula for Rabombi. So I have Rabombi on the team. Rabombi adds some much-needed speed that my team was lacking. It also brings webs for my team to do really well with. I think Azumarill under webs is really solid. Same with Celesteela. Like, you don't even have to run like a Totemize. And I think it can help the team out quite a bit. It's more hazard removal with Defog. It does add another fairy to my team, but I'm okay with having multiple fairies because of how reasonably Dragon Weak my team is at the moment. Just that I don't really have great switch-ins to Dragon. So yeah, and Bug User, Galvantula and Rabombi are very similar in that Galvantula is maybe slightly more offensive and has a little more natural bulk to it, and Rabombi has a little more utility and has more speed to it. So I was really happy to get Rabombi. I think Rabombi fit my team a little bit better than Galvantula did because I didn't really need another electric type, especially with Rotom-Mow being as one-dimensional as it is in an electric type role. So I was really, yeah, again, Rabombi I was really happy to get. Did I mention, what was the last mon that I had up here? Uxie. Oh, Uxie's going to be named Lobotomy because it's brain, so, I don't know, spinal, anyways. Rabombi is going to be nicknamed 2B because I was like, oh, 2B or not 2B, but I don't think the whole thing would fit, so it's just going to be 2B. I think that's going to be kind of cool. Round 9. Round 9 is the first round that I was doing, the second round that I was the one doing the sniping. I ended up going to bed because Mudsdale picks really late at night, and I wanted Mega Beedrill. I really wanted Mega Beedrill. I didn't care that I just picked up a bug. Mega Beedrill was key for me. I needed a good poison type. I wanted some Toxic Spikes, and I wanted more Volt Turn, and I wanted a fast mon. I needed the speed, absolutely needed the speed, and Mega B was in a tier, it was in Mega Tier 2, so I was going to gain points for that, and I thought that was really crucial as well, because initially my plan had been to draft like Mega Pinsir or Mega Alakazam, but I decided against that later when I saw what I could grab in round 11. So I did snipe Jed pretty hard. Granted, I had been thinking about Mega B for a few rounds now, and Jed sort of left picks with me. Dangerous. I know I know I'm his good friend, but it is dangerous to leave picks with someone who's going to pick before you. Not much I can say about it. I'm still really sorry to Jed about sniping him on this, but I did end up grabbing Mega B. He grabbed Mega Pidgeot in the same round because he was like, well, Mega Pidgeot was the one that I was planning on grabbing anyways. I actually think Mega Pidgeot fits his team a little bit better than Mega Beedrill would have anyways. Just because it gives him more of a wall breaker to set up for his sweepers, to just need a little bit of chip off later. They fulfill kind of the same role. Beedrill maybe hits a little bit harder, but Mega Pidgeot is a nice ground immunity for him. I mean, that's his draft analysis. I'm not going to talk about Mega Pidgeot anymore. Mega Beedrill, I kind of talked about all the things that it gives me. It gives me some more hazard removal and defog as well, but setting up Toxic Spikes is really cool. Toxic Spikes are kind of fun in Draft League because not a lot of people play around you having Toxic Spikes necessarily. Yeah, more Volturn. Gotta love more Volturn. Oh my god, I love Volturn. Right now we have, what do we have? Rotom-Mow that can full switch, Mega V that can U-turn, Rabombi I think gets U-turn, Uxie that can U-turn. So that's all some really good Volturn there. Mega B is going to be nicknamed Stripes. What do we have left? Well, we finished our Fairy Dragon Seal, we finished our Fire Water Grass, we have an Electric, we have a Ground. Now I need a Tier 5. I'm still looking for more speed in a nice range because Mega Beedrill is really, really fast. And then I think my next fast, and then I have Rabombi that's really fast, and then it drops off to Hydreigon. So I needed something in that between like 100 and 120 tier. So in round 10 we ended up grabbing Tauros. Tauros is a really solid tier 5. It doesn't get great coverage, even for a normal type. It's kind of surprising that it doesn't get fantastic coverage, but the fact that it gets like sheer force body slamming and stuff like that, it's an intimidate user, which is also really good for my team. Stops some physical attackers and their tracks a little bit. It's really fast at 110. It's not the bulkiest boy in the world, but it'll get where I want it to go. I was only planning on grabbing one tier 5, and getting some power in tier 5 is kind of what I was looking at. I have the bulk to round up my team now, and I just wanted a little bit more oomph. So that's kind of what we went with. And then round 11, nobody could snipe me. I was the only one with 100 free points left. I think... Yeah, I was the only one with 100 free points left, so everyone else had to pick in tier 4 and tier 5 for their last mon, so I had no qualms about this. And I ended up grabbing, Tauros is going to be nicknamed Bullish, and I ended up grabbing Lycanroc-Dusk. So the fact that this thing lasted to the last round blows me away. Tough Claw's Accelerock by itself is good enough for me to pick this thing up, but the fact that it's another good speed tier at 110 along with Tauros is really nice for me. And I needed kind of an offensive rock type. It also can set up rocks. So I have 5 different hazard setters now. And I'm just really happy with picking up Lycanroc-Dusk. There's not much to say about this. It got, obviously Lycanroc got its new form in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and in my opinion this is the best of the 3 forms. Tough Claws is a broken ability. There's a reason Mega Metagross is in Ubers, by the way. Yeah, so that's kind of what was happening here. Lycanroc-Dusk is going to be nicknamed Brocky. I'm really looking forward to the season. I'm excited to essentially have have a league that I can run and have fun with my friends. So yeah, that's gonna be that. Week 1 we take on Matt and the Green Bay Goliathpods. So keep an eye out for that team builder and the battle video whenever that's going up. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later.